It sounds like it was more of an organic sort of evolution, and with help from a very smart MBA student at the time. So, was it a concerted effort at that time to start calling it? I mean, a lot of people have said David Kelly at IDEO kind of coined the phrase. How did it evolve to actually become this thing that we study or that we use and apply in business called design thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I think, frankly, design thinking was created by IDEO and the Stanford D School as a term that encompasses stuff that designers writ large have been doing for a very long time. So if you go back and you look at there's various types of design, right? There's industrial design, there's graphic design, there's architecture, there's engineering design. We didn't really talk about business design in those terms, although arguably that's what people did. And if you look at, so I'll step back a step and say, at Haas we talk about problem framing and problem solving. That these are sort of two distinct activities in which you engage. And if you go back in history and you look at things like the quality movement and Deming and Crosby and all these players in the quality field, they describe being very focused on the customer in order to define the outcomes you want to achieve. They talk about asking why 5 times to get to root causes or underlying patterns, right? They talk about generating different ways of solving a problem and then experimenting with those, which is kind of the same thing as design thinking. What's happened with the quality movement, they both grew out of the same fundamental problem framing and solving structure. Quality went off in a direction of minimizing variability. And when you start to try to focus on reducing variability, you get away from the possibility of having many different answers. So the design thinking folks said, wait a second, in fact, maybe it's better to increase variability because we want to have a lot of different options and ways of thinking about solving the problem. Mm-hmm. So they've sort of evolved out of the same, how do we go about, what is the problem we actually want to solve? And then what are all the different ways we might solve that problem? And then how do we test and figure out if we got that right, if you will?